I want to know what happens next. Doctor whoever I'm about to be. Tag. You're it.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Let's talk about the first topic of discussion, and that is I have to get this out of the way because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about, but also something that I've been just, there's an internal struggle here, and that is Doctor Who. Now, Doctor Who is a show about an alien Time Lord who can travel in space and time, for those of you that don't know, because nobody watched the Jodie Whittaker era. It's her time now. I don't know about that. Because here's the thing. Jodie Whittaker played the Doctor, plays the 13th Doctor in this era, which is show ran by Chris Chibnall, who is like the guy who wrote all of the worst Doctor Who episodes. So why did the BBC give all of the shit to him? No clue, man. No, well, I kind of know why, but we're going to go past that, okay? Because we all know why, okay? However, this show ended, not permanently or anything, but her era ended. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor finally burned, and so she burns away, and there is nothing more cool and just it signifies pretty much all of the mistakes that this era has done when you see the lead character, who is played by Jodie Whittaker, a woman who they had so much faith in, and turning the game around and not, appealing to the male gaze, as she said, because she's not a fucking fan of the show. She never was, and she had no clue what she was getting herself into. She was just a normie who has heard of Doctor Who before and has seen people play this character. I'm sure she respected the show, but not to the point where she could sit there and tell people, hey, you know what? I hear you. We're going to make a kick-ass show. I guarantee it. No, instead they wanted to go out there and preach and do all this activist shit. It's just get the fuck out of here with that. All right. Her era ended and she regenerated back into David Tennant. Now, if there is a testament, okay, to how shitty, okay, this whatever experiment they were trying to do, okay, you have David Tennant who comes back as the Doctor. David Tennant plays the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who from seasons 2, 3, and 4, right before Matt Smith took over the role as the 11th Doctor. David Tennant is back as the Doctor. For how long? Well, from what I understand, it's only 3 episodes for a 60th anniversary special that comes out in November. So David Tennant's back. Russel T. Davies, who's the original showrunner, is back. What does this all mean? Well, one can argue and say, whoa, the woke era of Doctor Who is over because they got Russel T. Davies and all that. Whoa. Hold your jets there, sir. Okay, listen. Sirs, ma'ams, they, thems, whatever out there, persons, human beings. Russell T. Davies is not the Russell T. Davies that we all remember from the seasons 1 through 4 of Doctor Who. Okay, Russell T. Davies is a very talented writer. He's very talented in what he does. This guy knows the mechanics of storytelling more so than Chris Chibnall. Okay, when it comes to the characters that we all know and love, the things we all love about Doctor Who, especially in this era of Doctor Who from Christopher Eccleston on, it was all thanks to him. Russell T. Davies brought Doctor Who back from the dead in 2005, gave us Rose, gave us Martha, gave us Donna Noble, gave us all of these great characters, Captain Jack Harkness, all of these characters, all of these things that we all love from those first 4 seasons, okay, came from this gentleman's mind, okay? So to question his talent is stupid. So this is pretty much essentially like if Gene Roddenberry, okay, was coming back from the dead and decided that he wanted to show run a new Star Trek series, that's kind of how it is right now. Okay, we never saw this coming. We never expected Russell T. Davies to come back and fix the mistakes that Chris Chibnall and maybe perhaps, if you want to argue seasons 8, 9, and 10, Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who. Okay, Although I would watch seasons 8, 9, and 10 100 times over Chris Chibnall's fucking era. However, here's the thing. Russell T. Davies has been, and very much like a lot of celebrities lately, they've been on the activist trail, okay? Celebrities wanting to voice their political opinions because they have a voice, they have a platform. Of course, they want to take advantage of it. It's Now, Russell T. Davies is not guilty of this, but there's a lot of celebrities out there that love to hear themselves talk, but the words that they're saying are stupid. Okay, so let's move on from that. So Russell T. Davies, he's been a bit of an activist through his platforms, through his storylines, through his scripts, all of those things. When it comes to Doctor Who, though, every time he talks about Doctor Who before this whole thing happened, it's we've all been like, well, yeah, damn, too bad he's not, he's not coming back, or he's not, in charge of this. Now that he's in charge of this, we're starting to see a lot of the elements of your current day social commentary ideology shit coming out. Okay, now you've got David Tennant coming back as the Doctor. That's great. Okay, that's awesome. You've got the character of Donna Noble coming back. Okay, how, we don't know. If you've seen the ending of her era, uh, I wonder how this all happens. So we get Wilfred back. We get a lot of the familiarities, but we've also got new cast members. We've got Neil Patrick Harris, who's coming back, who's coming in to play the villain. And then you've got Nakuti uh, Gachwa, I believe that's his name. I'm sure I butchered it, but he plays the new Doctor. He plays the next incarnation, supposed to be the next incarnation after Jodie, but we've got David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, regenerating into his full form. But what is this about? I don't know. We all don't know, but we can all just speculate, and speculate off of the news pieces, the pictures on the set, all of those things. Now, I am conflicted because the 10th Doctor is my favorite out of all. The 10th Doctor is everyone's favorite. This was the man who really pulled us into this, into the world of the TARDIS, Gallifrey, all of these things, the companions, all of this stuff. And so, and I love Christopher Eccleston. I fucking love Christopher Eccleston, man, but the guy was an idiot, and he talked too much shit and cost him pretty much his career almost. But so David Tennant was the guy that really brought us into the adventure, into his in his world, going along on the adventure with the Doctor and the TARDIS and the companion. It's great. I mean, it's wonderful, but him coming back also means that they fucked up so much so that they not only brought back David Tennant, but you did so much so that you even have the old logo from the Baker era, okay, from the 70s, coming back as the official new logo for Doctor Who. And not only that, but it gets better. It gets better, okay? Doctor Who, as far as I know, the new episodes starting David Tennant, they're coming to Disney Plus. It's coming to Disney Plus. It's coming to the Disney Plus app. Whew. And there's a lot of funding coming in from Disney. You think the BBC is going to be like, oh yeah, here, that's it. Just put our episodes in. No, Disney's going to want this. Disney's going to be like, oh, you know what? Let's put in all of the money, if not most, and let's just Americanize the fuck out of this. Now remember, Doctor Who is a British institution, so it wouldn't surprise me that Disney has something that they're like, oh, well, we could do something with it, and then it's gonna bleed through the app, and then once the app is there, it's a hit. I'm sure kids are gonna watch this. Okay, people are going to watch this. Now it depends if those 3 episodes hit. If those 3 episodes hit, you've got some of the fan base coming back, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you, man, the most of the fan base is going to come in. Dude, they have fucking alienated the fan base for years. Now, you've got your devoted Doctor Who fans out there that are like, I love Jodie no matter what, because if I voice my opinion, I'm a sexist and I can't. I'm a virtue signaler. Okay, you got those people there, okay? You've also got people who are genuine fans of this shit who just, they like it. And if they like it, they like it. Great, cool. I'm glad that they do. I don't. And a lot of people don't either. So there's a problem, okay? There's an issue. I just don't understand where this is going to go. The thing that really has me conflicted is that in the Jodie Whittaker era, you can argue and say, well, TV shows do this all the time, movies do this all the time, they always retcon things. Doesn't matter. Let's just move on. Well, Doctor Who is the title, Doctor Who. We don't want to know who this person is, where they really we don't want to see an origin story. And sure, you may drop little hints here and there, kind of like how Moffat did during that entire season of 6. At times, like season 8. There were little bits and pieces of his childhood, little tiny things that were taken, mentions, all of that stuff, but not a full-fledged fucking origin story. That defeats the purpose because your title shows Doctor Who. So after you reveal an origin story, it shouldn't even be called Doctor Who. It should be called Doctor whoever the fuck this person is, because they gave us an origin story throughout half of the fucking episode, so there's no excuse to have this person a mystery anymore. That's who the character should be right now at this point. They fucked it up with the timeless child. Okay? And to make a long story short for you normies out there that are like, I have no clue what you're talking about. The Doctor, when they die, they regenerate. They regenerate into the next face. It's a new body. It's a new soul. It's new taste buds, new all of that, right? But same memories. Same memories, okay? That's what it is. Well, in the timeless child, they were trying to be so stunning and brave with everything. They were trying to be so cool and edgy, and we're gonna change Doctor. We're gonna be like the ones who created the show, because we're gonna try to do this origin story. No, it doesn't work. And when they did this origin story, it was this convoluted thing about experiments and a powerful genius mother who it's just such it's literally virtue signal. The origin story is what it is, okay? If you kind of get my drift. It's so bad. It's so bad. And when they canonize that as and they legitimize that as canon, okay? When that happens, okay, everything from that point on and everything in the past is diluted. It's all diluted. Okay, they wanted to say, well, she's not the 13th Doctor anymore. She could be Doctor 340. Who gives a fuck? William Hartnell is the first Doctor. Peter Capaldi is the 12th Doctor. David Tennant is the 10th Doctor. Jodie Whittaker is the 13th Doctor. Simple. They were trying to bring in all these doctors and all this stuff, the first Doctor, it was terrible. It was terrible. Man. It was like they were putting social activism in the midst of a science fiction story. And if you're not blind, okay, if you're just sitting there, you're like Homer Simpson, just in a conveyor belt of donuts, okay, you're eating this shit up, you're not really gonna try to figure out what the fuck they're really trying to do. It's so obvious what they were trying to do. So with all of that being said, they brought back David Tennant. Why? Because the show was garbage. It was hot garbage. You could smell it off your fucking phone, TV, computer, wherever you're watching the show from. It is hot garbage. It was terrible. Terrible, terrible. Now, the talent in the show, as far as the actors go, Jodie Whittaker was a terrible Doctor because there was no character growth. There was no character depth. There was nothing there. There was nothing from point A to point B to her finale. Nothing. All of the Doctors, they all had arcs. They all had their own spin on things. They all had their own personality. Each Doctor was its own thing. And you see the range, you see the suffering, the goofiness of it all, the everything that they embody. Jodie Whittaker didn't have any of those. All she did was she was just one note, act one way. There was no growth there, like Matt Smith, for example. Matt Smith. You know Matt Smith from House of the Dragon. Okay, yeah, you know who he is. Okay, because before that show, nobody knew who the fuck he was. But in this show, as the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith went from this boyish character who is full of charm and glee and just endearing as hell and such a sweetheart. And then you see how this character progresses to his last season, where you believe that this is an old man inside of a young body. The character grows, maybe not physically, but inside, from the experiences that this character has gone through the heartache that this character has gone through, from losing his companions. All of those things add up to his personality and how the character unfolds. David Tennant had the same thing. He goes from, this young, you really don't know who he's about, but he's a fun, young, hip doctor, to someone who is dark, hurt. Um, he's got pain behind those eyes, and you can tell through the performance of David Tennant. He just does it so wonderfully. Christopher Eccleston, he was the tormented doctor. He was the guy who pushed the button. He did something just recently that was terrible and it's eating him up. Rose was the person that made him see things clearly different in certain ways. Rose is what, it reminded the doctor of the better parts of himself. So those are the things that these characters go through. Capaldi's doctor is another person who goes from this really doubtful dickhead, who just clearly wants really nothing to do with anyone, to somebody who is kind, warm, um, in pain, struggling, but willing to sacrifice anything and everything to save the person that he loves. All of those things. With Jodie Whittaker, you know what you get? Tag, you it. Fuck out of here. I'm happy she burned away, turned into David Tennant. A man, a dude, a guy, a man with a penis. That's right. That's right. It's for all the people out there, all the SJWs out there who are weird, the ones who ship Yaz and the Doctor. What? Because they're girls. It needs to be gay for it to be better. It's like, come on, dude. And then the fact that they didn't even do anything with those two must have pissed off all the shippers out there. It's wonderful, but at the same time, I'm glad that this era is over. Do I expect anything great coming from Russell T Davies in the future? Not really. I'm cautiously optimistic. I know. Josh, why can't you just love this stuff? It's because I love this shit so much that I hate seeing it tarnished. It's like watching your own child succumb to drugs and alcohol, and you really just want this kid to have help because you love him so much. You believe in him. You believe he can do better. She or he could do better. You know, um, that's how I feel about Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, all of these franchises that I love. The MCU, which is just completely fucked. Completely. There is no going back. I don't even care about the MCU anymore unless there's a really cool Marvel movie like Deadpool 3. Other than that, I don't give a shit about Kang. Kang sucked, okay? Why is everyone acting like Kang is like the new Thanos? Guys, if you've read the comics, Kang sucks, all right? Period. Plain and simple. But anyway, back to Who. Gallifrey, I want to see that again. I want to see Murray Gold come back to Doctor Who and score the shit out of this show. Doctor Who was, it was a brilliant fucking show, and the majority of it has to do with the feel of Doctor Who, and that is from Mr. Murray Gold, who is a wonderful composer. He is one of the best composers and one of the most underrated. If this dude did Star Wars, people would be like, what the fuck is this guy? We're all sitting here like, dude, you guys are fucking late to the party. Murray Gold is the shit, and this guy is responsible for 90% of the tears that come out of my eyes when I watch Doctor Who, because his music is just that damn good. And he was missing throughout the entire Jodie Whittaker era. It was like the Jodie Whittaker era was like this weird experiment. It was like this weird experiment, and they didn't know what to do with it. They lost all of the things that made Doctor Who great, and then they just grabbed some composer from off the street, sitting at the bus stop, and they said, "Get on board. We're going to make some noise," because that's all it was. It wasn't even fucking music. No disrespect to the guy, but dude, you can't tell me that you can compare Murray Gold's I am the Doctor theme for the 11th Doctor to what the screaming child sound that we get, you know, when she was on top of the like I don't know, sorry. Ambiance doesn't cut it for me, all right? And it doesn't cut it for Doctor Who. And so that's pretty much where I'm at right now when it comes to my feelings about this show. It took me about 22 minutes now, almost 23 minutes to talk about it because that's how much I care about this show. I started to get into this show because Star Wars started sucking. And then look what happened. Doctor Who sucked for a good while. I really hope that it bounces back. I'm hoping for the best. I'm sure everyone out there who is skeptical is still hoping for the best because that's what we want. We want to go back and watch Doctor Who. We want to talk about Doctor Who. We want to go in the live streams and talk about Doctor Who every week and go, damn, that was a damn good episode. Let's talk about it. But instead, we're sitting here just trashing these shows because they're just bad. I'm not going to fake fucking praise something. Why? Because I want the free access? I don't give a fuck about the free access, okay? If I wanted to make a lot of money, I would sit here and tell you Doctor Who is so amazing, Star Wars is amazing, Star Trek's great, can't get any better. And the MCU, fuck, I'll fuck the MCU because that's how much I love it. Like all these critics and all of these people talking about these franchises, oh, it's amazing, it's riveting. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is the best movie ever. It's going to cure bigotry. That shit's got to stop. It's got to stop. I'm sure it's a fine film, but just stop. It's weird. And it's fucking creepy. Anyway, folks, that's all I've got to talk about in today's video about Doctor Who. One of the greatest science fiction television shows of all time still is, despite its very big, giant crack in the road. And in the middle of that crack, there is volcano fire and demons coming out. And right now, if David Tennant's coming back, and if this show is good, that crack will close. Just like in season 5 of Doctor Who. Just kidding. But yeah, let's close this crack on the ground, and let's paint a smooth. I don't know where I'm going out with this metaphor. I don't know what I'm doing. But listen, guys, I gotta go. It's been fun. It's been real. But I hope that Doctor Who becomes great again. That's all I gotta say. So, tell me what you guys think. If you are a fan of Doctor Who and you've watched this video, I want to know what you guys think. Genuinely, I want to know what you guys think because it's weird. There's a lot of people don't know where this is going to go, and I think it creates a fun discussion. And I'm one of those that actually engages with you in the comment section. I'm not one of those that's like comment select, comment below, blah blah blah, and I just never go on my YouTube page. No. Go ahead and comment below. I really need to talk with you guys about this, and a lot of you have been awesome and engaging in awesome conversations. You definitely know who you are. It's great, and I had such a fun time the other night on Twitter discussing just where shit's gonna go with House of the Dragon and a little bit of Star Wars. It was great. I want to do it again. It was fun. Live streams, I would hope to collaborate with someone in the future and get on a live stream and just talk some shit. All right, guys. I've probably prepped I gotta go like 7 times already, but no, really, I gotta go. So what else is there to talk about? Doctor Who. That's all I gotta say. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. All right, guys, I'm out. See you in the next video. Bye bye.